Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. This video, we're going to discuss K-1 visas from Thailand specifically, or Southeast Asia, maybe generally, but with a specific emphasis on Thailand. The K-1 visa, for those who aren't aware, is a Fiance visa. It's for fiancés of American citizens. There's other videos on this channel that delve specifically into the K-1 itself. This video is going to discuss the general processing times and timelines associated with the K-1. Basically, overall, it's been my experience that you're looking at about 6 to 8 months overall in general for routine cases involving a K-1 visa. So that's from initial filing with the Department of Homeland Security until final decision here at the U.S. Embassy in Bangkok. And all cases involving fiancé or marriage visas are going to be adjudicated here in Bangkok, not at the Consulate General up in Chiang Mai. But that being said, you're looking at about 6 to 8 months generally. It's going to be about 3 or 4 months to deal with the Department of Homeland Security, and then usually about 2 to 4 to deal with, the back-end processing at U.S. Embassy. To be clear, there is no straight just one size fits all processing time. That doesn't exist. Each case is processed differently. Each case is unique. Each case has its own unique, its own unique aspects that are going to change things as far as processing times go. Also, the timing of filing and the timing when a case makes it over here to the U.S. Embassy. That's going to be a major issue because, holidays can creep up, which can cause delays in processing, things like that. There could be issues in a specific embassy with respect to, the situation on the ground that can cause processing time problems. That has never been my experience really here in Thailand, notwithstanding there have been, overall overarching events in the kingdom here that have had an impact on the embassy as far as their being open, etc. But that being said, I've never really seen it have a dramatic impact on the overall processing time of a given case. Another thing to keep in mind is processing times are going to vary. The other thing is the 221G, which is a request for further documentation and a refusal of a visa application until further documentation is presented. 221Gs can take up further time processing a case, and as a result, a 221G can slow things down. There are other things that could happen. A request for evidence at Department of Homeland Security could slow things down. We strive to not have these issues come up, but that being said, they happen. A consular officer may just want to see some further documentation. An officer with Department of Homeland Security may just want to see further documentation. Again, and the other thing to keep in mind is the visa is a benefit. It is not an entitlement, and it's not a right. So again, doctrines such as the doctrine of consular absolutism or consular non-reviewability, which is discussed at length in another video on this channel, those kinds of things can have a dramatic impact on how quickly things are processed through because of the discretion inherent in the officers adjudicating these cases. So just for the record, average processing times tend to be about 6 to 8 months on K-1 visas, but things can change. Another thing to keep in mind, or things can differ case to case. Another thing to keep in mind is, notwithstanding a 221G, there could be what are called legal grounds of inadmissibility in a case, which may require a waiver, either an I-212 or an I-601. In either event, you're going to see a longer overall processing time because waivers are they're a horse of a different color. They're an entirely different adjudication that is added on from a timing perspective to the overall process of getting the K-1. So that should be borne in mind. There's going to be the initial processing time. If you've got a 601 situation, you're going to be looking at an extra maybe 6 to 12 months. It sort of depends on the overall processing time at the Department of Homeland Security's USCIS center that basically adjudicates those matters. So to sum it up, yes, in routine cases, I've seen it processed through at 6 to 8 months. All cases are different. Timing concerns can come up. Things can change. The other thing to keep in mind is the situation with respect to Department of Homeland Security requesting further evidence, Department of State requesting further documentation. All of these can lead to delays in the process. And then finally, if there's a legal ground of inadmissibility found to exist in the case, then there could be a significant delay in the ultimate, or perhaps, depending on what the legal ground of inadmissibility is, there could ultimately be a full denial that cannot be waived based on a legal ground of inadmissibility that cannot be waived. But even if it is a waivable ground, one's still going to have to prove up the reasons for waiving it in the application for the I-601 waiver. All of these considerations can radically alter the timing and the processing time of a given case. But that being said, in routine matters, you're looking at about 6 to 8 months.